Welcome to the B&B Show, Barriers and Breakthroughs, with your host, Rochelle Payne-Baum, the Pain Whisperer, a show that talks about how to fix your pain. So get ready for the B&B Show.
Barriers and Breakthroughs.
How's your hubby?
Doing great. Okay, well, here we are, though. We're live. So, it is Rochelle Payne-Baum. Yes, I'm the Pain Whisperer, and we welcome to the Barriers and Breakthroughs show. We have an awesome guest. Okay, this is our first time we're doing this virtually, everybody. Yep, we're doing this from out of state. So, Julie lives in Utah, and she's joining us today, and she's going to share some awesome information with you that will help you, especially just in your regular life, but also especially if you're an entrepreneur like we are and want to have a business. And so Julie's going to share some awesome things with us. So, and Julie, now let me just tell you a little bit about Julie. So we met in Israel, right, Julie?
Yeah, we did.
Isn't that amazing? Over 30.
Like how many years ago? Like 32 years ago?
31 actually, probably. So, because our marathon anniversary was just past this past February. So Julie, as like she is, invited me to run a marathon with her. Back then, I didn't even know what a marathon was, honestly, because I wasn't much of a runner. And I didn't even know it was 26.2 miles. So I'm like, sure, I'll run a marathon with you. So we started training. I really still didn't know it was 26.2 miles. And then I don't know how I figured out how much that was. I'm like, wait a minute, am I going to be running that long, like 4 hours? Anyway, so we started training, right? And we had 4 of us, I believe, that were training. And Julie, like, you had some kind of ankle injury. Of course, I was not the right person for you at the time because I was not a physical therapist. But I would have helped you fix your pain, so you would not have dropped out of training, right? So, and my other friend, Kathy, she got Achilles tendonitis. I think, Julie, you had patellar tendonitis or something, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, because most runners, 99% of runners get injured every year, if you knew those statistics, because they usually get an overuse injury. So, meanwhile, I'm just running like 5-milers, and 2 weeks before the race, Julie's like, hey, my brother's coming up from LA to run the marathon, and this is in Vegas, right? So she's like, let's just run it. Let's just see how we do. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And
ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah, we're like crazy. It was like snowing. I remember snowing. Like Chrissy came to, your sister, and then our friends. There's like, what, 5 of us?
I can't remember. We had a good pit crew, though.
So anyway, so we just drove on down, got there like 2 in the morning or something like that. And we got up at 5 in the morning and like ran this marathon. It was super crazy. So, anyway.
It was crazy because if I remember, I think my longest run was 12 miles like 3 months before, you know? And
yeah, well,
you know what? When you're young and dumb,
young and dumb.
You don't know what we just went for it. I wish I was more like that every day. I mean, I think my life would be fuller and richer if I just took more risks. Well,
I mean, that's what you're going to talk to us about today. Like, we had no fear, right? And that was one of the barriers that helps or makes it difficult for people to progress today. But so maybe because we wanted to have fun and let's just do it. And we kind of, maybe that kind of youthfulness is good sometimes, taking those risks. So we do have some pictures, I think, blasted from the past. So let's bring up those pictures right.
Who knows what pictures you have?
Okay, well, here I am. If you can look closely, I don't know if you can tell. You see what's in my hand well, that was when we had that rainbow come out, right? So this is in February. It was cold, which was a good thing. We didn't get hot while we were running. I have a bagel in my hand because remember our friends met us like halfway at the halfway mark and like, hey, let's give these guys some bagels. So we took pictures and like ate some bagels, and I was still eating as I was running with that bagel in my hand.
It was crazy.
So,
in fact, it was raining when we started.
Yeah.
And we put garbage bags on and we'd hold our arms out and they would push us down the thing. So
Yeah.
we kind of cheated, but not really.
Well, we did have a little
We
bit
really
of
went 26.2 miles on our own feet. So we really ran it.
We really did. We did. So, and the good thing is we like did a different training strategy, like where we ran 5 miles and then walked a little bit. So that really helped us, I think, you know,
Yep.
not hit the wall. Because I remember at the very end, we were just like sprinting, you know, passing up people. Like, this is great. Let's sprint. We sprinted across the finish line. We never hit the wall. It was great. I think there's a picture of us at the finish line. Right up. There we are. Woohoo! That was so much fun. And I didn't even know what those tinfoil things were, but it was supposed to keep us warm, I guess, right?
Something.
Look, we were totally smiling. Like, it was so much fun. And it was one good thing. I think we were running down the strip, right? Or something like that. So it was kind of exciting. Like, see everybody.
I think that what hurt the worst is just the blisters.
Oh, yeah.
We're not prepared for 26 miles.
Like, you took your shoes off and on and took your socks off and then put your socks back on, like, I don't know how many times, like 8 times or something.
Okay. But you guys, we ran a 4:06.
Yeah.
Like a 4:06. Like, people would love to run a 4:06, and we didn't even train, so there you go.
Because I was a year younger than you, like, I think there's a picture of me. I took second place in my age group. I don't know if you remember that.
It was awesome.
Oh, that was when I was, like, recovering. Okay, the last picture, I think. This is the very last picture. Me getting my... I think the best thing in this picture is my hairdo. Don't you love my hair there? It's pretty crazy.
I can't see any of the pictures, so...
Oh, man. Okay. Well, you're in the picture there, so...
Okay, there you go.
I just had the craziest hair. It was pretty funny, but yeah. That was really great. I mean... Thanks to you, I give everybody the credit. When I tell people about them, it was all credited to you for like getting me to do that thing. Because, like I said, I didn't even know what a marathon was at the time. 26 miles.
So in front of everybody, you guys, my goal is to run the Boston Marathon, qualify for it this year, and I've asked her, Shelley, to do it with me.
I
know. So I want to know in front of everybody if you're making the commitment to run with me.
Okay,
no pressure.
So you're challenging me in public here.
Yes.
That's like putting the pressure on. That's kind of not very fair.
I know. I figured I'd get a daddy in front of everyone.
And then we're going to talk about fear here, because that's one of my underlying problems, barriers to like running the marathon. So we'll have to talk about that. But let's get started here. Because you call yourself, well, you are an awesome mom. You have 5 kids, right?
4.
4. Okay, 4 kids.
Yep.
A boy, 2 boys, 2 girls?
2 boys, 2 girls. Boy,
Sweet.
girl, boy, girl.
Dream team. Awesome.
Yeah, nothing like you. You have like 20 kids. But I have 4, and it's great.
Well, the thing in common we have is we have an equal amount of each, boys and girls. So that's pretty cool.
You have a dream team. That works.
A dream team. So you're an awesome mom, and plus you call yourself a serial entrepreneur, which I think that's super awesome. You've always been dedicated to learning new things and improving yourself, and you've always inspired me a lot. So let's talk a little bit about what you wanted to talk about today. I think we had initially talked about why you want to bring up fear and how it is that it stops people from, it's like a barrier from being successful.
Yep, 100%. In fact, you said I tried to figure out like what do I want to talk about. You know, I'm working on a lot of different projects and stuff like that. But I just think that we all have a lot of dreams and we have a lot of goals and stuff like that. But why aren't we achieving them? And mostly, I believe it's because we're afraid of. We have fears, and you know what we want and who we are right now. There's a gap, and that gap is where we're afraid. You know, we're afraid to grow into becoming the person who can achieve that goal with ease. And so I sent you that thing. It says everything you want is on the other side of fear. And I coach a lot of people, a lot of women. I have a lot of people on my team. We're doing a nutraceutical project that actually helps people get off prescription medications.
Wow.
And so
awesome.
Anyway, so I'm just coaching people on my team, and I continually find that the number one reason why people don't succeed is the dialogue between their two ears, and is 100% about fear. So that's why I sent that over to you.
So how would somebody like figure that out, that it's a fear versus like, you know, if they're a rational person, it would be like, how would they know it's fear? Or fear and doubt are kind of the same thing, sort of, right?
So, yeah, I'm looking down for a second. I did a Facebook Live on my page and it was, I'm just going to grab this screenshot.
Sure.
Shoot, hold on one second. Oh man, I don't know if I can find it. It was, nope, darn it. I did a Facebook Live, and I was talking about fear, and this guy from Africa had friended me. And he talked about, how fear is so much. He goes, don't get me wrong, danger is real, right?
Yeah.
But fear is a choice. And so there's a difference, obviously, between like something that's dangerous and you're like, oh, I got to get away from it. But too many times, our self-image and how we see ourselves determines what our outcome is going to be. And so, I know I sent you a couple of questions. One of them was, how, I can't remember what were the questions I sent.
Okay, so next question we had here. The next question, well, what does fear cost you? Or, no, you said, how does self-image come into play with fear? And what are the strategies you employ to overcome fear? So which of those you want to talk about? Self-image?
Actually, I guess a lot of, well, let's go to the one about, what do your fears cost you?
Okay.
A lot of times, we think we know what the outcome of the situation is going to be, and so we don't even take action towards it. Think about if you need to have a conversation to move whatever your goal is forward, and maybe there's somebody that you need asked to do something, and you immediately have this idea that they're going to say no. And so we don't like the feeling of people saying no to us, and so we don't reach out to them because we already think we know what the outcome is going to be. And that's a fear thing. And so we kind of predetermine the outcomes of stuff, and the reality is we don't even know what the outcome is. But because we didn't take action, then we are actually creating the very thing that we're didn't
afraid
want
of.
to happen, right?
That's totally true.
And so
that just happened to me.
Well, tell us about it. Come on, Shell. Tell us about what happened.
Well, I know I wanted to. Okay, so I have a general manager, and he's a great seller, and he's taught me a little bit about this. He's like, if you don't present something to people, if you don't just present it to them, like, you'll never know. Like, if they might really want it, and it'll be the easiest thing to sell. And if not, then no big deal. Don't take it personally. But if you're not presenting it, then you lose on an opportunity.
Yep. And it's our own fear of rejection that causes us not to take the action. Or our fear of what will it mean to me personally if they say no, or if this happens, what's that going to mean about me? Oh, I couldn't deal with that. So that will be very uncomfortable. So I'm not going to choose to take that action. And so that's kind of where self-image comes into play, is, how we see ourselves. And I think that people see us a lot more magnificently than we see ourselves. I think that there is intrinsic greatness in every single one of us, and yet we're always shrinking, and we're not standing in our power because of this dialogue between our ears of whatever the lie is that we've continually repeated to ourselves about ourselves, that we're making true just because we've repeated it so many times. I have this saying on my wall. It says, it doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe is true, because with work, that will become true. And so it's kind of like whatever you say to yourself over and over and over, even if it's a lie, like that you are less than somebody else, like you see it and you repeat that over and over, you make that true in how you interact with that person.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It becomes, self-fulfilling, right?
Self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah.
It rules us. Go ahead.
Well, I remember you texted me the acronym for fear is face everything and rise. And I have a friend who's watching right now, Stephanie Allen. So thanks for getting on, Stephanie. And she put in something which is kind of fun. False, because it's just what you're talking about. False evidence appearing real for fear. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So like fear, I think so many times that the way you get over it is you actually have to take the action that you're afraid of. And you'll find out. I mean, I'm not like, if you don't jump off the cliff because you're afraid of the cliff, right? That's not a good idea. But most of the times, it is really an illusion that we have. And just in taking that action, it goes away. A lot of the people I coach, they'll call me, and the people that I coach, and they'll say, you know, they're kind of feeling stuck, you know. And I'll say, what are your beliefs about, like, the situation, you know, write down all your beliefs about the situation, like about yourself in the situation, about, just about other people in the situation, whatever it is. Yeah. And write down your beliefs about it. Like this marathon, right? What are your beliefs about running a marathon that you're afraid of?
You want me to tell you? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
No, I do. No. Okay, you're going to help me get over this, I guess. Yeah. Okay, I have a fear that it will age me. Okay, that's plain and simple, exactly how it is. I'm going to lose all the fat in my face. I'm losing already, and so you see these wrinkles here. So I'm just afraid of that, honestly. So it's a vain
fear that I use to help with it.
It's a vain fear, but maybe I'll just eat a lot, and then to compensate, so it'll fix it.
Is that really your number one fear?
Yeah. Isn't that terrible? Like, I love to run, honestly. I mean, I know how to train. I know how to train to make sure I don't get injured. I'm a physical therapist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am torn a little bit because I have a friend who wants me to do a powerlifting competition in December. So I do have goals, everybody. I do have goals. But, so it depends. I guess if I can qualify for the marathon in August, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, yep.
As long as I qualify, then
3:55.
Then I have September, October, November. So I still have 3.5 months to build up my strength again for the powerlifting competition. So I think I can still do both. So that's a great one. Like, why, if you're avoiding doing, like, taking an action, you kind of have to ask yourself, what do you believe about the action, or yourself in the action, or something like that, and identify where that limiting belief is. Because we're saying something to ourselves that the reality is not true. I mean, I love the scripture I have it on. Like, if you saw my wall, like, in my office, I just have all these quotes. Take a picture, send it to me. I want all those.
Okay, quotes. I'll put it up. But yeah, I mean, one of them is the scripture in 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And so, obviously danger is real, right? But take that off the table. And if you're not taking action towards your goals, then it is not of God. It really is not, because He says, for God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Like, so power is really who we are. Like, that is our birthright. That is who we are. So there's some belief that you have. And so when you write it down, then you get to ask yourself, is this really true? And it's not true. It isn't true. But you can say, how have I been making it true? And in that belief that you have about yourself, then you can say, God, it's showing up right here in this part of my life. But where is it showing up in other parts of my life? Because it's not just going to be in one part of your life. It's going to be pretty much in so many different parts of your life. If it's a belief that you hold about yourself, and maybe like just a limiting belief that you have, that is where fear comes in. Is you guys, I have a fear of going dancing because I feel like I'm going to look like a fool, and I probably would, right? And but then I can say, okay, so where does that fear show up in other things? I don't like to do anything that I think I won't look like I fit in, or that I'll look foolish and stuff. But yet it's something that if I would just let my guard down, I can learn to do anything, If that's something I want to do is go dancing, I can go learn that skill and have confidence in it. And then rather than making it true that I'm afraid to do it because I look, like a fool, then I would have confidence and I could, accomplish really anything that we choose to, So,
right. So I have a question then. How do you distinguish between if it's a fear that you have about yourself, or if it's what you think other people think about you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's a belief that you think other people believe about you, how can you tell the difference between if it's coming from yourself, or is it still coming from yourself? That's just what you think other people think. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I guess the question you have to ask is, does it really matter? Because if it's a belief you have about yourself or that you think that other people have about you, the reality is just take the action and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to step through. I was at a conference and a guy was talking about this story, and I think we've all probably heard it, about this super wealthy man who wanted to give his wealth away. And so he invited everybody to a big party at his house. Have you heard this story? And
is it a true story?
I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. Okay,
okay.
But
I want to hear it
the
though.
concept is real. Okay.
Yeah.
And so he invites everybody over, and he says, the first person who swims across my pool, I will give all my wealth to. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then he opens up the pool, and there are sharks swimming in the pool. Well, of course, nobody wants to swim. Mm-hmm. And so then the next time, nobody gets his wealth, and they invite him back again like 1 or 2 times. And the last time, he's like, okay, this is the final time. Anybody who like jumps in and like swims across, I will give all my wealth. And nobody's jumping in. And, so he's like, okay. And all of a sudden, you hear this splash. And he looks down, and there's a guy like hightailing it as fast as he can across the pool. You know, he gets out the other side. He's totally winded. And the man's like congratulating him and everything. And he's kind of ticked off. And so he's like, well, what do you have to say? He's like, who pushed me in the pool? You know, he's really ticked off. Well, it turns out the person who pushed him in the pool was the guy's like nephew who had created these holographic sharks in the pool.
Oh,
so they
wow.
were never real.
They weren't even real.
They were just illusions, right?
Yeah.
And so, I had to go. I wanted to go to this conference, and it was going to cost like $800, and it was really short notice. I felt strongly I needed to go to it,
mm-hmm.
But I was really afraid to ask my husband because I'm like, there's no way he's going to say yes.
Well, that's what.
So,
okay, go
what's
ahead.
that?
Well, I know people that you love and that you counsel with, like, you need to come to, be in agreement about stuff. So sometimes you have, especially with people close to you, you care about what they think about you. You know what I mean? Right. So it can really affect each other in a deep way. You know. Okay,
well,
go ahead.
But the truth of the matter is that I think we have to understand who we are. Like, we need to get clear on who we really are.
Mm-hmm.
We understand like who we really are. Like, our true identity is sons and daughters of God. Like, what our true power is, then the opinions of others don't matter so much. There's a difference between counseling with your spouse and stuff like that. But like in this case with this conference, I felt really strongly that I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But I was scared to death to ask my husband because I knew that he was going to say no. And so my quandary was I had a strong feeling I needed to go, but I was afraid to talk to my husband about it because he didn't go ask and pray about it and figure out that he needed, that this is the right decision.
Right.
I just felt like I needed to. And then all of a sudden I realized, Julie, you are like not asking because you're afraid because you think you already know what the outcome is. And so instead, I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to ask him and say, this is why I think I need what I need to do.
Yeah.
And because otherwise I would be making true my fear rather
than
than
going to say no.
Decision, right?
Right.
And so he wasn't happy about it, but guess what? He said yes. And he says, you know what, just go do it. If you feel like you need to do it, go do it. And I walked away and I thought, how many times have I not gotten my goals or my dreams or whatever it was is because I was afraid to take the actions I thought I already knew what the outcome was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that we limit ourselves because of our fears instead of just stepping in and taking that action. And usually it turns out for our benefit.
Yeah. I know people are afraid to fail. And my friend Stephanie that's watching us right now, she put up something which said, if you fall forward, as long as you fall forward, that's what it is. If you fall, as long as you fall forward, get up and try again. Do it again. So even though you're falling, it's not necessarily failing as long as you get up and try again,
Yeah, I mean, I have this thing that says, good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger the wind, the stronger the trees, right?
Yeah.
We kind of have to face some opposition, and facing fears. You guys, if you don't have what you want in your life, it's because you haven't grown to be the person who can have it yet. That's the bottom line. And I face that every day as an entrepreneur. And as I lead and coach people, to have success, financial success, is that what they want is going to require a better version of themselves. And that requires facing fears. And the more you face them, though, actually, I believe that the easier it gets, because you start to realize your own dialogue in your head and how you're talking yourself out of success because of your fear.
That's really good. Can you repeat that, what you said about your outcome again? How did you say that? I wanted to put that up in a quote.
About how, say that again.
Yeah, I know, like that, the outcome,
if you don't have what you want, you have to grow to become the person who can have it. Is that it? Or?
Yeah, it was about becoming the person that, oh man.
I mean, the reality is like, here's the thing. You have what you have in your life because of the comfort zone you've created for yourself.
Yeah,
and true. What you want, because I sent you the question, what has fear cost me? And fear has cost me achieving goals that I've set over and over and over for myself, because I haven't believed that I could achieve them. And so I didn't take the actions because I was afraid that I would fail, so I didn't take them, right? And so in order to create that new thing that you want, you have to step out of that comfort zone. And one thing that's really important to understand, we tend to avoid things that make us feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and
naturally.
Think that is not a good thing. I don't feel good about it because it makes me feel uncomfortable. But you have to ask yourself, is it? I mean, definitely, I believe that we can get those spiritual impressions that say that is not good.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right.
Okay. But I think very often it's our own fear that we have to get uncomfortable to grow that is what's saying, oh, I don't feel good about that. It's because you've got to stretch to become, and you want to grow to, like, when you have a goal that you want to achieve, write down what attributes that person is who can achieve that with ease. And those are the attributes to start implementing into your life. And so many times we say, oh, but I'm not that way. Well, that's because it's a choice and we've chosen not to be that way. But we can choose to be anything we want. And so is stepping through those fears and peeling off those onion layers and just committing to grow. And I did a call for my team this morning, and I just says, lean into your growth. Lean into it. If you're afraid, you know what? Write down and try to figure out what your belief is so that you can be cognizant of it. As soon as you become aware of it,
it's recognizing it. That's a huge step. Right
huge
there.
Step. And it diffuses it.
How do you do that if you're just by yourself? I mean, would you ask somebody? Obviously, you could probably help them. Are there certain kinds of questions that you could ask yourself? Like you said, what does fear cost you personally? Like, how would you even start with that? Like, I don't know, like, how much money have I lost because I have this, or, I don't feel good about myself. I guess you could do it that way. Like, I haven't taken care of myself, so I have more medical bills, or I haven't stretched myself in my business, so I'm not getting the money that I'd like, or relationship-wise, right? Like, I'm afraid to date, or I'm afraid to, what is it? Being a mom.
And the purpose in asking that question, isn't to beat yourself up. It's only just to say, do I want to keep repeating the cost that I've had in the past and keep having it into the future? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a choice. That's a choice. And so that's why I say, what does it cost you? So hopefully it kind of motivates you to say, I don't have to continue that on. Like, I can stop right now and I can identify my limiting belief. And the thing is, you can write down, like, what is the belief that you have right now? And I promise you, if you ask yourself, your mind knows what it is, and just write it down. Like, I don't think you have to, like, I don't know. Sometimes there's power in counsel of other people, but I think you already know. Yeah. You already know. Like, I had this belief that I wasn't good enough. And so I kept making that true in all these areas of my life because I wasn't good enough to, do X, Y, or Z. And so my fear would keep me from doing it, or that I didn't fit in. That was another one. I think some people feel like they don't fit in. And so that belief, and so you have a fear of putting yourself out there because you don't fit in. And that's a lie. It's just a lie. So recognize
that's a barrier for sure that you, exactly. I mean, I think most of us feel that at some point, right? That we don't fit in, and I think that's just part of human nature because we're always comparing ourselves to other people, seeing, everybody puts on, especially with social media nowadays, everybody puts their best face forward, and including myself, I admit I'm a little bit guilty of that as well, but sometimes I try and put on normal things. I need to put something on about our messy house so people can see that I am not a perfect human being and our house is messy. It's just not a priority sometimes, for me, because I think my kids need to clean up after themselves and I'm not the maid to clean up after them, so if they don't do it. Anyway, so let's go through a scenario a little bit. What should we take? Like a fitness thing? A lot of people are emotional eaters. Like let's do something where how would fear play into being unhealthy? Like out of shape?
I can't really speak to that because I haven't experienced it. I think that what it has to be is you just have to ask yourself the question, what is my belief right now? Or what is the negative self-talk? You go forward, but then you say, yeah, but. And what comes after the but?
So yeah, but. That's a good thing. That's a cute trigger word, like, okay, what comes after the yeah, but? What excuse?
Yeah, but. And that's your limiting belief, and that's what you want to... That's what you want to just, I believe there's really a lot of power in, it's kind of like a scale, like the old scales where they put the vegetables on one side and the weights on the other, and they're trying to say how much it is, right? Yeah. And so we have a belief that, when you identify it, you've been making it true by looking for evidences of it, and that becomes the truth. Like that's weighing down the scale is you continually are repeating it to yourself, so you're making it true. So we have to identify it and come up with the true truth, which is the opposite usually of that belief. And then we have to, it's kind of like going from you're so comfortable believing it, even though you hate it, you're comfortable with it. It's like you're comfortable, I'm right-handed. It's like saying because I could be left-handed if I chose to be. I would just have to practice that.
Really good point. Really good point.
You want to, instead of grabbing the right pen, you grab it in your left hand. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you start to practice it, and then now you're putting weight on this side, and you're looking for evidence of this truth. And if you do it more and more and more, you can eradicate that belief until it becomes the truth. That's what you're operating.
And are you willing to go through the pain to make it, possible? Right?
And some people are, and some people aren't. And it's not to say that you won't attempt it later, because you're going to, as you go down this path of like entrepreneurship and growth, you can dip your toe in self-growth, or you can really commit. And once you really commit, then you really can have anything you want.
That's awesome. So you set what kind of goals? Like daily goals, monthly goals, weekly, monthly, yearly, 6 monthly, yearly?
I am more of big vision, and then kind of break it down to I have a goal that I'm working on in my business, and so I know what my month goal is, and so then I break it down to what's the daily, and then also what are the actions I need to take. And here's the other thing that's really important. Is that the obstacle to the way is the way. So the thing that you're afraid of doing is the thing that once you conquer it, it makes everything easier and flow in your business and in your life. I have this one part of my business that I'm not really good at. So I kind of avoid it because I walk in, I kind of get tight. You get that tight feeling?
Yeah,
right? And you have to go, what's my belief right now? You got to stop yourself. As soon as you get tight, you say, what am I thinking right now? Okay, that is a limiting belief. And that is the obstacle in the way. And if I can just focus on that one thing and become really good at it, that is the obstacle in the way. Remove it. I all of a sudden, it's kind of like that dam or that rock that kind of like, keeps the
stuck in the way.
Right? And you just pull it out of the way and things flow.
That's a really good analogy. I like that. So usually the things you want to avoid are maybe the things we should focus on. Right?
Oh yeah. Whatever we're avoiding, like that's where the fear is. Like that's where the gold is in your life, is the thing that you're avoiding.
Yeah.
If you avoid
things that make you uncomfortable.
If you avoid looking at your finances, guess what? That's the problem right there, and you've got to address it. You can't put your head into the sand, right?
Yeah.
If you're whatever it is, I mean, there's countless things that we can avoid.
Avoid exercising because it's hard. Avoid, doing your taxes. Avoid selling. That's difficult. Like, in a business, like I have to sell myself all the time, or sell my home health agency. I also have to talk to doctors and keep going all the time. Like, you go in and they're nice and they never send you patients, so you have to go back again and you have to go back, and it's hard because you think that they don't like you. You just have to make yourself do it and keep doing it, and it's tricky.
And on that note, though, we can continue to take the action just because we're afraid of it, or we can commit to say, okay, I need to become really good at this. Who is really good at this? And
good idea.
How are they doing it? And get the skills, and then the fear goes away because you have more skills. And because one part of my business, I can just keep practicing it. Or one thing that works really well for me is I will take on the identity in my mind of the person who crushes it in the thing that I'm not good at. And I remember I was in a previous business and I had to make a phone call. I had to do a 3-way call to help a partner with something. And I was intimidated by the person that they were going to put me on the phone with. And I saw myself as less than this businessman, and I had to kind of help close the deal. Yeah. And I didn't feel like I had the skills and everything. So what I did is I knew a lady who would feel like she was right on par with this person that I was going to be talking to.
Yeah.
And so I just imagined myself being her. And like, how would she talk to them? And so in my mind, I was like, being like a movie part, right? And I just stepped into that persona of her, and I just borrowed her confidence, and then I talked on the phone and I crushed it. And that's again another part. That's another way to get through your fear, is just imagine.
Remove your personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even imagine it's already done, like you've already accomplished it, right? There's so much power in that.
That's awesome.
You raise.
You see the end result.
Yep.
To motivate you, right?
Yep.
That's really good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of like the two friends where the one wants to ask this beautiful girl out on a date, but he's too afraid to, and so he asks the other kid too, who's like really self-conscious and like would never dare ask her, but because his friend asked him to do it, he goes up and asks her, hey, would you like to go out on a date? No problem. Yep. But when it's you yourself, and just you don't have the confidence,
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So you coach people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that on the phone, I'm sure. You can go through certain questions. Yep. So how would people, get in touch with you? Are you just like help? You said something about a team. You're trying to get a team together, right?
Yeah. I people who really want to be successful, and maybe what they're doing isn't giving it to them.
Mm-hmm.
I have a team of people. We're working together. I'm basically helping people get off of their pharmaceutical drugs, and we just have a great program. And it's actually I'll run through an app on your phone. It's anyway. So I have people from all walks of life, that from young people like 19, 20 years old up until I have a gal who's like in her 70s. and we helped her get like our product. She was able to get off of her, her pharmaceutical drugs, and is living a higher quality of life. And so she's actually joined our team, and it's been really fun to just mentor her and help her, just develop a second stream of income. Some people it's just very part-time. Other people it becomes a very full-time income. So,
is it CBD oil?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
that's like the buzz these days. Everything's
I'll give you my 2 cents on CBD oil. If you were going to take it just as an entrepreneur, okay?
Yeah.
I think that right now it's totally the buzzword. Do I believe it'll become like a $30 billion company? I really do. I think it will because of legislation that's just passed.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you can buy something at Walmart, or you can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy it at your grocery store, you don't really have a business.
Yeah.
And that is what's going to happen. I mean, you look at like Noni Juice. Noni Juice was all the rage, and it has great medical benefits. But as soon as I could go buy it at Costco, then everybody who built a business on selling a Noni Juice, there went their business.
Yeah.
So CBD is the hot thing right now. I've seen the research. I think there's some great things to it.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, I want to build something that's going to be very long term. That when I build it, it's going to give me a really great income, and even a recurring income for a long time. So that's why I'm not playing the CBD stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. Once Amazon gets it, hard to compete with Amazon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Walmart.
And Walmart, for sure.
And Walmart will, mark my words, give us maybe a year or two, and we're going to see CBD at Walmart.
Probably. Yep. Sounds like it. Well, okay, so people want them to message you on Facebook. What's the best thing to do?
Yeah, go find me on Facebook, Julie Larson. It's actually Julie Van Sloten Larson. Send me, friend me. I'm always doing Facebook Lives. Like I do sometimes 2 or 3 a week, and just teaching like success principles. And I'm one who like shows my warts and my wrinkles and stuff like that, because I'm on the same journey that they are. We're all in this together.
Sure.
And I think that pretending like I'm not going through my ups and downs is really disingenuous. I think that that there's power in people.
Being real.
People on my team, being real. People on my team are like, wow, you struggle with that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, heavens, yes, we all do.
Yeah.
So I love to share those thoughts with people and help them grow. So definitely Julie Van Sloten Larson, or Julie Larson. It's ON. On Facebook.
You want to put up
send me a message, and
there you go.
Love to
cool. Julie Van Sloten Larson. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, all right. So do I need to commit to run the marathon right now, or?
Hey, you know what? It's up to you. If you're going to buy into your fear that it's going to age you. Because here's the deal, Michelle, is that I just commit to grow. I think if it ages you like 1 month versus the accomplishment of us running the Boston Marathon, next April, it's worth the 1 month. But I think it won't. And if we're trained smart, remember we talked about training smart.
Yeah, that's true.
Train smart, not hard.
True.
Right?
True.
My mantra is this is my belief, is that I qualified for the Boston Marathon with ease. That it wasn't like this horrible thing. And so I've kind of laid out a plan to make it so that I'm not like reaching up and hanging off on to get my goal by my fingertips. Like this, that I'm just going to grow to be the person that can reach down and grab that goal and say, oh, all right, that's off my bucket list.
Yeah. No, that's true. Make it fun. Well, that's why I want to do it, because we had so much fun, and I would love to do it with you, for sure.
Amen.
Stephanie wants to thank us. Thanks so much, Stephanie, for participating with us. She loved it. She said great information. So she's like you. She's just an inspiring person. She's had trials and barriers, and you guys need to keep in touch. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. And Stephanie too, especially, and some of the other people that got on. We'll probably have Julie on again. All right, so, because you're just great. I love talking to you. And then, I'll help. You can give me some coaching tips as well with more of my business details. So, yeah.
And I would love if you'd have me back. A part of our project, we're actually helping kids and adults with ADHD, like function amazingly well, and I'd love to share kind of what we're doing there, getting them off their drugs or parents that are looking for an alternative to drugs. Anyways, we'll have some cool stuff that we could show another time.
Totally. Yeah, no, I've had like 3 people this week talk to me about ADHD.
Oh.
Like my friend today, his boss is ADHD. He's like, I swear I could just say, here, I'm going to give you $5,000, and he'd be like walking off, like trying to do something, So, yeah, that's great. We'll definitely have you on again.
Okay.
So yeah, usually I like to do push-ups. You want to... We can arm wrestle. Let's see. Give me your hand here. Let's arm wrestle. I did that with Stephanie last time. Okay, it's got to be the other arm here.
Okay, bam. No, I got you. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Crushed you.
Oh, wait. I went the wrong way. Okay, try that again.
You guys, I just won. Let's just call it what it is. I totally won. She knows it.
Oh, you're the
if
best.
we were here for person, then I would win. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to have to do that one in person, okay?
On the marathon, we can totally run across the finish line at the exact same time, okay?
Okay, yep. We got a plan for that. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll be chatting with you some more, so thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Of course, Julie. Yep.
Go face your fears. You can have anything you want. Honestly, just commit to grow. Commit to face your fears. Commit to discover the beliefs you have about yourself that you're making true, and they're not the truth. You know what I'm saying? And you really can become anything you want, and you can have anything you want.
I love it. Thanks. I'm taking that to heart. So thank you so much. Okay.
Yep.
Next week, I will be in New York City at the UN. So I'm going to have my friend Sharon Slater on. We'll be doing that Facebook Live with her in person. She's the president of Family Watch International, and she is a family advocate. She stands for the family. She wrote a book, Stand for the Family, which my daughter Afton is reading. She's coming with me, and she wants to learn how to negotiate UN documents to help protect the family and stand for the family. So we will be doing that next week on the Barriers and Breakthroughs show. And so hope you can join me, because Sharon's like an incredible person, and you will want to hear from her. So, and again, we'll have Julie on again coming up here soon, and we'll keep you posted on Facebook on our running training, right?
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it live as we cross the finish line. Come on.
Awesome.
We got a document that we did what we said we were going to do, right?
That's right. Yep. All righty. Okay. We'll be in touch. Love you, Jules. Thanks. Talk to you later.
See you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.